YouTube was amateur balls up back with another bang in this video. Terrence Crawford says Errol Spence is not a Hall of Famer. Let's get it. Right. Terrence Crawford went into an interview or a podcast with Kamaru Usman, and I forgot the guy he does his podcast with, but it was interesting to say the least. And they was doing a lot of talking, right? Um, and then Terrence Crawford started talking about the Errol Spence fight and the politics of boxing. And this is what he said, right? He says, I could retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame. He says he couldn't. Um, he says everything I accomplished, Errol's still trying to accomplish right now. So he says, how? He says he fought in one division and he unified. He had three belts. What I'm saying is they already called him a weight bully, right? He beat Kell Brook coming off an eye injury against Golovkin. He beat Sean Porter. That's a good win. I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but I honestly don't know if he makes it to the Hall of Fame with the accolades he done got right now, which is very interesting. And people on the media already been talking about it. They was like, how you gonna discredit your best win, right? They was like, if Errol not a Hall of Famer, you not a Hall of Famer. But I disagree, right? I think outside of resumes, I think accomplishments are also what makes you a Hall of Famer, right? Even if we take out Terrence Crawford's resume of names, he still got the accomplishments: four division champion, two-time undisputed champion. You can never take that away from him. That's Hall of Fame accolades. What makes you a Hall of Famer is your accolades and your resume, right? Or and your accolades and resume, or your resume or your accolades, right? Sean Porter didn't have crazy accolades, but he had a crazy resume. He fought everybody. Terrence Crawford don't have a crazy resume, but he got crazy accolades, right? Some guys have crazy resumes and accolades. Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Pernell Whitaker, Oscar De La Hoya. Right, I could keep going because I really study boxing, right? But some guys have a good resume. Some guys have good accolades. Some guys have a combination of both. And I think Terrence Crawford is more on the accomplishments, the accolades side. I think he has accomplished so much. He don't have the most names, and it's not his fault. That's because he was blackballed, right? He was blackballed from the business and the politics of boxing. His biggest competition was PBC, and they didn't want to fight him because he was signed to Top Rank, right? They didn't give him Keith. They barely gave him Errol. They gave him Sean. He never got Danny. So he was blackballed. And then he wanted Jamel, and look what Jamel did. He ran to Canelo. People don't talk about Canelo politicking. Canelo took David Benavidez's belt after David Benavidez lost it off some nonsense, and he never gave him an opportunity. Canelo blackball Andrade, blackball Big Charlo. Then he moved up. Bud tried to challenge Jermell, and he took that fight from Bud, right? So Canelo's a master manipulator, and Canelo's a borderline politician in boxing, if you ask me. Dude, a politician. He didn't unify with Andrade for undisputed. He didn't fight Big Charlo when they were supposed to fight. Um, he took Benavidez's belt when Benavidez lost it, either on a scale or because he tested positive for cocaine, one of the two. Um, and then when he saw Bud trying to fight Mel for three times undisputed, he took that fight from Bud, right? So Canelo's a master politician, if you ask me. He politics and then he gonna smile in your face like he don't know what's going on. No, Canelo, you're a master politician. Bud should have been three-time undisputed right now if he fought Jamel, right? But guess who took that away? Canelo. Now he got to move up crazy weight classes to get an opportunity because the PBC still got all the belts at 54. It's crazy because after Jamel lost all his belts, the PBC got them all again, right? Sebastian Fundora and Bakram got all the belts, right? So, and Terrence Crawford belt, they about to fight for it. But, he was criticizing Errol, saying Errol not really a Hall of Famer with his. Nah, I think Errol is a Hall of Famer, right? If Tim Bradley's a Hall of Famer, Errol Spence is a Hall of Famer. Errol Spence got accolades and he got a resume, right? His resume: Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, your Dennis Ugas, Kell Brook, right? And then his accolades are his accomplishments. He had three of the four belts. He was one belt away from undisputed. I disagree. I think Errol Spence is a Hall of Famer. He got the accolades and a resume to prove it, right? He got the names and the accomplishments, right? He got more names than Terrence Crawford, but he got less accomplishments than Terrence Crawford. So I think ultimately I think Errol Spence a Hall of Fame. I disagree with Terrence Crawford, but I do think it was. I think it was a little bit. I don't think he thought it out well because discrediting your best win or your biggest win makes your resume look weaker. You feel me? I'm talking about Terrence Crawford. So it's just crazy. It's just a crazy take. It is what it is. I disagree with it. I think Errol a Hall of Famer, right? His resume, like I said, Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter, um, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Dennis Ugas, Kell Brook. The only guy that they were missing at welterweight on their resume was Keith Thurman. And Manny Pacquiao. They didn't get Keith Thurman or Manny. None of them got Keith Thurman. Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman on their resume would have been beautiful, but it never happened. But I'm also going to talk about how biased and what type of nonsense they was talking about on Kamaru Usman podcast. And he tried to discredit Devin Haney, talking about Devin Haney didn't get the belts belt by belt when he didn't even notice. Terrence Crawford literally did the exact same thing. Devin Haney won undisputed when he had one belt. Terrence Crawford fought for undisputed when he had one belt against Errol Spence. So the crazy part is him trying to discredit Devin Haney. He was discrediting Terrence Crawford at the exact same time. He didn't even know it. It was the dude. It was the Hispanic dude who with Kamaru. I think he's Hispanic, right? He was trying to discredit Devin Haney's undisputed match when he didn't understand that Bud got it the exact same way, right? Errol Spence got the three belts, and then Bud fought him for it. Cambosa's got the three belts, and Devin fought him for it. It is what it is. But I just want to point that out. They was trying to, Devin Haney getting jabbed everywhere you go. You hear somebody trying to talk about Devin Haney this, Devin Haney that. Man, Devin Haney more accomplished and made more money than these dudes could ever think of. Right? The only dudes making the type of money Devin making is only a few names in the sport. The top names in the sport, Devin Haney getting paid like he is the top name in the sport. Right? Everywhere you go, the only content people can make is glazing Tank, glazing Canelo, and hating on Devin Haney. That's the only content people make nowadays. You feel me? Glazing Tank and Canelo and hating on Devin. That's the only content niggas make now. But let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the post notification bell. Till next time.